Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. I'm your host, Caryn Lutz, CEO, founder, spiritual transformational mindset life coach at On The Go Talent. You could find me at onthegotalent.com and Caryn Lutz, CarynLutz. If you were just tuning in, today's episode is all about how I obtained my master's degree in elementary education, grades K through 6. Hi everyone, I hope you are having a great day. I am enjoying this beautiful sunrise in front of me. Well, today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how I decided to go back for my master's degree. Well, in another episode, I had spoken about how I had just left New York City, Hoboken, New Jersey, and what I was going to do with my life, because that fear was still there. Those limited beliefs were still there. There was so much stress. There was a lot of trauma going on. With some things that were happening, around my sister, having her first child who had a lot of complications. But luckily, she is now 16 years old. So with that being said, so I was leaving Hoboken and moving back to Pennsylvania. And at the time, I was trying to discover what I really wanted to do. So I was tossing some ideas around and looking at, different options. Obviously, I loved music, loved dance, loved theatrics. So my option was, elementary ed or high school physical education. So I do remember I had a few interviews at a few different schools. So what ended up happening is my brother-in-law, actually when he worked in the city, I remember him picking me up and taking me back to his and my sister's house in Pennsylvania because he would commute. And I had an interview down here, actually in Florida, believe it or not, university down here, and I was considering getting my master's in physical education. And it just didn't connect right. So it was one of those gut feelings like, no, this isn't right. Well, I decided to call my alma mater, Cedar Crest College, and really explore the options there. And I ended up, obviously getting accepted into their master's program and attending for only a semester. So I absolutely love that school. And I'll talk about, me being an adjunct professor there in another time. But it was a long commute, and I was trying to take several classes. So if you know me, sometimes I can be like an overachiever, but they instilled that in me. And so did my family, I guess. But long story short, I wasn't able to take like as many classes as I wanted to at that time. So I ended up transferring over to Bloomsburg University. And thank God I did, because I had the best time for that year that I was in my program. I took classes in Hazleton at the high school there. I took classes at Crestwood, and I had classes, at the main campus. So I loved the program. I was able to take like 4 classes per semester and just do my thing and just really focus in. So I remember taking summer classes, and I had, as I mentioned, wonderful professors there. And one of my favorite classes was the science class. So my cousin and I actually were able to commute and, spend time together. And we had a blast doing that. And there were other friends, that were also obtaining their degree at the same time. I definitely recommend their program as well. They have, a nice curriculum that was able to cover a lot of different things. So I wanted to say the one summer, and I believe his name was Dr. Snow. And I was like, okay, and he taught science. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like if my memory serves me correctly, that was his name. And I had the best class for science. It was like environmental science for elementary ed. And that is where actually the puppets show started. So he showed us ways of incorporating all of those things into the science curriculum. And that just made me really fall in love with the science curriculum, and this was all in Pennsylvania, I wanted to add. I had a wonderful math professor as well too, and he used to be a ref for basketball games. Wonderful other mentors there as well. It was just overall just an experience that I was very, very grateful for, and I was fortunate to make a lot of friends there too. And one of the most favorite parts of that journey was teaching at the summer, I think it was called Fundamentals program, which was at, I believe, Southern Columbia. It was by Knoebels, I'm trying to remember, but it was so much fun. It was like a summer intensive for the kids, and I remember dressing up in colonial gear and just using dance, music, theater just as a vehicle for them in the curriculum and just spending time there. So that was my experience for obtaining my master's. I was very, very blessed after I moved back home to do this, because I was able to reside with my grandparents. So they were very, very generous and very, very good to me. And I always will give them credit for that, because that was a transitional time in my life, a very difficult time to, go through, because I was trying to figure out where I wanted to be. So I really thank them for that. But with that being said, going back to this, it was like this whole fear thing again, and about like not trusting yourself and your God-given talents, and your fear blocking your gifts. And sometimes that happens. So as you can see, it's a little bit overcast here today, but still gorgeous. So thank you anyone who is tuned in and watching. Shout out to the Huskies at Bloomsburg University, because I am proud to say that I am an alumni and a product of their program for their master's degree. So I will end in prayer. Dear God, thank you very much for giving us this beautiful sunrise and this beautiful wind and the sand and the essence of the earth all around me. Thank you for giving us the hope and the blessings that we need in our lives. Thank you for opening up our hearts to receive your love through the Holy Spirit, who is life-changing. I thank you so much for everything that I have in my life. As always, have a wonderful day, and maybe I will do another live soon.